Hello, lovely human beings. It's Loretta with Sparrowhawker Designs. So today I'm gonna do a little tutorial. Also, I just wanted to say I have the new stitch kits that I put up in my Etsy store. I raised the price on them just a little bit because I am adding the paper hexies in the kits, so that if you want to do paper piecing, these are already the correct size, and you don't have to like go online and download the pattern or whatever. So for the hexies that I give you in your kit, these are the perfect size. So I'm going to start including those in the kits. I think there's a few kits up there that are the older ones. There might be one or two older ones that don't have these in it, but all the new ones from here on out will have these in there. I don't know how many of you are familiar with paper piecing, but a really easy way is to take your glue stick and you glue an edge and you fold it over, and you glue an edge and you fold it over until you get something that looks like this. Only I did this really quick right before I turned on the camera, so it's a little uneven, but it looks like this. And then you would sew the next hexie. You do like a whip stitch on here, and then you just go in and tear your paper out. So that's that. But yeah, it's not hard. I really didn't want to like use this hexie here, but I will. So it's not hard. Probably the hardest thing for me is getting underneath the fabric, because I don't usually have nails. So you can just use something like this, or a stiletto or whatever, and it's that simple. And then you just go to the next edge, and then yeah. So anyway, so that's a little tip for you there. The other thing is, while I'm talking about hexies, I thought I would show you guys how to make hexies in a different way. So if you don't want to actually take your pre-cut hexies and actually make them like, like this, and actually then connect them or whatever, you can take a circle. You can make a hexie out of a circle. That's kind of a wobbly circle. It's not a perfect circle by any means, but anyway, you get something that looks like that. So you could, if you put it down like that, you won't be able to tell the difference from a regular hexagon. And also, if you're going to put it face down, I would use a matching fabric or matching thread. I did not use a matching thread, just so that you could see what I was doing. But I think it looks really cute like this too, and you could put a little decorative stitch here, or a button, or a bead, and then it doesn't really, I mean, it's obviously a hexagon shape, but it looks more like a folded box or something rather than a hexie. But anyway, and I'm going to show you, hopefully, I don't know, this isn't a perfect circle, so I'm hoping this will work. I'm going to show you how to not have this happen. So sometimes when you get to the edge, when you get to the last stitch, you'll get this raw edge here. Now, you probably could very easily just trim this, and if you're putting something, if you're going to put a button or something on top of it, like, you probably wouldn't even notice it, or if it's going down this way, you wouldn't notice it. But the way to not get that to happen is to take as small a stitch as possible. So without further ado, you take your circle, and there are plenty of other tutorials out on the internet that show you how to make a folded hexie. So I am by no means the expert or the only one. So you fold it like that, and what you're really trying to do is just find your center on your circle. That's the only reason to really do this. So then you've got your center. So you take your needle and your thread. Now I'm using white. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. And this is just a Coates and Clark hand quilting cotton thread. And my needle, what kind of needle is this? My needle is John James embroidery needles size 9. I'm sure you could use whatever. I mean, I wouldn't use a tapestry needle or anything like that, but I'm sure you could use other sizes. So with the right side facing you, you come up directly in the center, and then you take a teeny tiny stitch and go back through. Whoops. Okay. And then you flip it over, and you want to go directly up to the side and give it about, and I hope this is in focus, give it about 1/8 of an inch. You don't want to get too close because you'll just fray your fabric, but you also don't want to get too far away or it will not be the right size. So about 1/8 of an inch, I guess. And then you pull your thread and bring it down to the center, and then you finger press that line. Now, you just take your needle and you come up to, I go to the right, you probably could go to the left if that makes you comfortable. And you go to the very edge, because at first I was kind of doing them way back here and it was getting all wonky. So try to go as close to the edge as you can, again, without fraying your fabric. And then pull that down. And I'll bet you all you smart crafters out there know exactly where this is headed, right? You just keep doing it until you have 6 sides. So then you finger press that. It is easier if you finger press it. I don't know why it makes it easier, but it does. And then go to the very edge. And then I have a knot in my thread that's not supposed to be there. Great. Always happens when you're doing a tutorial, right? There we go. Okay. So I also kind of guide it to make sure it goes right there in the center. And then finger press that. Now I apologize for my fingers, the state of my fingers, but we were cleaning the garage this past weekend, and my hands are all icky. So anyway, you can see right here, you're getting your fold and your straight line there. And then come up and do it again. And like I said, you know, there are lots of other tutorials out there on how to do this. I did not invent this by any means. And most of you probably already know how to do it. So that might have been a little too far over. We'll see. It looks pretty even. Anyway, you come up here again, little tiny stitch. And I don't usually keep it pressed down on a board. I usually hold it in my hand when I'm making it, but I'm trying to make sure you can see. And so you get this point. Now this is really important here, because if this is hanging over this edge, then you're going to get that really wonky unfinished edge thing that I was telling you about. How many times have I used the word wonky in this video? Like, I hardly ever use that. Ow, I just poked myself. I hardly ever use that word, and I've used it like 3 times now. Anyway, if I can just get my thread to cooperate here. You guys probably wonder how I ever get anything done, right? I'm so I'm so clumsy at at this kind of thing, right? And then hang on, I did not go through my fabric the right way. Well, it wouldn't be a tutorial by me if I didn't make at least one mistake. So let's get this threaded and do that again. Okay, so keep that there. Keep your thumb there if you can. Oh, look at that. I messed it up. There we go. And so now you have your little hexie. There is a little bit hanging out here, which I will just snip off. And so what you do when you're done with that is you just take another stitch back down through, or you could even bury it somewhere in here. But yeah, and so then I'm gonna put like a button right there, and so this is probably gonna go on Susanna's block that I'm making for her. I can try it one more time with another circle, a smaller circle, if you want me to. Of course, I realize you have no way of letting me know if you want me to or not. Okay. Let's see. All right, so try that one more time. So yeah, the trick really is getting little, when you go to the edge, taking small enough stitches that you don't end up with it out of shape, so that you don't get that weird raw edge, but not so close that you fray your fabric. So, and you can make these out of, I mean, this just happens to be cotton, but you can make them out of all kinds of things. Wool, they tend to be, if you use wool, or they tend to be kind of fat and fluffy. If you use silk, it's a little, I find it a little harder to, here comes the dog. Hi, puppy. I find it a little harder to manipulate the fabric because silk moves around a lot more. You get what I'm trying to say, right? And it does matter, I guess. You know, part of the reason I might have had a little bit of trouble with that first one that I did was because it wasn't really a perfect circle. So it was definitely not perfect. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm getting ready to start. I have not started Susanna's block yet for my slow stitch collaboration. I'm hoping to start it tomorrow, but we just had a ton of stuff that had to be done here over the last week, one of which was cleaning the garage. I swear, we got a family of mice that moved in out there, and it was just like they used it for their own private toilet. Oh my gosh, it was like the worst thing. I found a nest and everything. It was just, ugh. And we were trying to figure out how they even got in, but I think it was the little thing that goes underneath your door broke off, and you know, there's like daylight like that, and a mouse can scoot right under that, and I think that's what happened. They got in there and made a nest before we got that fixed. So anyway, that wasn't the only reason it needed cleaning. It just needed, you know how, like, I don't know about you, but my garage is sort of like a catch-all. And so, like, after a while, you're like, I really need to clean out this garage because I can't walk through it. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, and I'm trying to do I'm trying to do the same. I'm going to be cleaning. There's little fuzzies here. I'm going to cut those off. I'm going to try to do the same thing with my craft room. I'm going to try to just, I don't know, reorganize or something. Like, you should see my, I can't even find the top of my work table most of the time. I mean, this one, I just scooted everything off to the edges. So, anyway. And so here you go. Here's how you can make a hexie out of a circle. I think it's cute. Anyway, so that's really all that I had for you. And of course, different size circles going to make different size hexies. And then there's also the paper piecing version. So yeah, so I just wanted to give everybody a heads up why there was an increase in the price of the kits. It's very minimal. It's not very much, but I do have to cut all these out, and the paper does cost money. So anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of the week, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.